nothing's changing, is it? Let's
Nope.
be honest. We've just been saying before this, like, where do you even go? You know, so Punk, you can have that one, mate. As we usually do, we turn it over to you. I've been talking for about 2 hours. You tell me what you just saw.
I saw a team that really don't care. I don't see any fight there. And I saw in the entire that stream, Chansiri out, Pulis out. Pulis has had 3 weeks with these players. 3 weeks. And it's the same players that are causing the problems in like how they're doing stuff. Has anyone actually thought it might not be the managers to a point? Monk was getting to that point with his tactics, but it could be the players. Because if Tony Pulis, who is the master of defending and making teams really solid, can't get up to do that and get up to nick games. Like, I got really excited when we scored. I was like, we scored. But then in the back of my head, I had that, oh, hang on, we scored. Oh, that means they're going to go. Oh, that means they're going to go another. We don't know how. The little man in my head was panicking and trying to find an exit because he didn't want to watch anymore. And it just goes to show you whatever's going on with this club at the minute, from pitch to behind the scenes, no one knows. And it's very interesting when you see the things where Fortieri tweets about saying Tony Pulis understands, like on Twitter. Like, there's something there. There's something there that's just not right. And there's so many players that have turned around and said, I left because of Gary Monk. Like Petr Belushi, or whatever he's saying, the Hungarian or Belarus, I can't remember, the young lad who was who was meant to be really good, who's now doing really well where he is. And it just, you go from the game against Huddersfield and you're like, right, you got to put that back in your mind, you got to try again. The only positive I've got about the Forest game is they're just as bad as we are, but at the same time, if they're bad as us, what the hell is going to happen if they have a good game against us? So I personally think there's a lot of problems somewhere, and I don't know where. And if it's true that Pulis wants a mini clear out in January, that's great, but he's got to get them to gel immediately. And
definitely, because we've got no time to spare.
No.
That's the issue we face at the minute. And I'm trying to pull up the
By the way,
stats.
Chef Lad, I love your profile picture. I think that is sick.
Decent. But yeah, Chef Lad says no fight. Anyone would have thought we are top spot. Unfortunately, it's the complete reverse. Thank you for the £2 super chat, Chef Lad. Appreciate it. Pat sort of says Pulis isn't the main issue here. I think we've touched on that quite a lot, especially Dexterity Watch today. I was saying how we definitely had issues earlier. Apologies if my audio was a bit funny earlier, by the way. I was on the wrong mic because that's how frustrated we were in the setup that I didn't set up the right mic, so it should be better now. Jez says, hi all, unfashionable, I know. I think we're a bit unlucky in the second half. There's definitely an attitude that needs sorting there, but that's the problem, Jez. It's been these players for too long, right? So the second half wasn't good enough because we didn't get anything out of the second half. You know? We scored a goal within 4 minutes and did nothing.
You can push and push and push and go for it. Like Pelopeti, if he had that gone in, you'd be like, right, maybe. But then you look at the penalty shout we had. We just got no luck this season. This season, it's one of those ones where there's no luck. The only luck we got was when we had the situation with getting the points deduction done, and that's done nothing because we'd had to change manager. So
we don't even need to relatively even talk about Barnsley because, like, anybody we play at the minute, it's the same thing. Do you know what I mean? It's these post shows. I said it's probably not going to be a long one tonight, lad, because we're seeing the same thing week on week. No fight, an absolute weak mentality, and just no end product. Like, yes, we scored today, which was great, but there was no bottle there, and that hasn't been for anything. Sorry, carry on, mate.
I had someone that messaged me that when the team immediately, as soon as we go, Tony Pulis settled up to defend. He didn't know. He was on the sideline, screaming and shouting, going, push, push. There was one bit where he shouts at Barry Bannon, FW Bannon, push. He actually scored him that to say, push up. And this is the thing. If the manager's going like that and the players are not responding, no one else can do anything to fix it. You could get Mourinho in and he won't be able to fix it. There's something rotten with how the players are. And I think some of them have had too long a contract. They've been here too long and they think they're safe and passionable.
Let's talk about passion, right?
Yeah.
Because this links in nicely to G. Gillett's comment here. Patterson put more fight into that chair he smashed than the entire team did during the match. If you're watching this after the fact, you didn't hear us talking about the fact that Patterson, when he came off, he went up and the frustration, he punched a chair in the stand and broke it. Yep. He definitely showed some passion there. I would say, I was watching it, I was talking a little bit about passion. The only players that I saw with any real passion on their faces and frustration today, Barry Bannon, if we're talking about impressed me on passion, he'd probably be one of the only ones on the pitch that was absolutely livid with what he was seeing. He's the captain, so he knows it's going to fall on his responsibility. He also knows the stick. He's been here long enough to know the stick we're going to get. He knows what's going to happen. And he was absolutely livid because you could see he kept giving the ball away and he kept screaming at people.
Yeah.
But you can't do it for them.
But even Patterson had bits where he was trying. And I think with Patterson, he did have a lot of passion. But with Patterson, he's a utility player. He can play everywhere. So there isn't a set role for him.
No, exactly.
Rowe came on. Rowe showed a hell of a lot of passion, I've got to admit.
Definitely for whatever 10 minutes he got. Yeah, another £2 super chat from Sheffield 22. As I said, whipping boys of the EFL. Definitely is something that we've dealing with the. I know a lot of people are upset about refs and things like that. I don't think the ref was particularly bad today. I thought he had a pretty decent game. I can't even blame the officials, and we know I love to do that. But it's definitely.
I just counted it up. I think you just make your map back, so you make your money back.
Yes, I mean YouTube gets a cut, but we're still. So I'm still making a loss, but we're fine. It's all good. I'll definitely need it back, don't I, mate? And I definitely need some more beers after this, but. Rob says, why don't we get some? We're going to mainly focus this to you guys, because we were gonna run with something today, but we want to talk about passion of the players, mainly how we feel about the current squad, because that's going to be the focus of the video for when it gets re-uploaded as well. So if you're watching on that, make sure you come back and drop it a like. But for me today, the big takeaway from that isn't the match, right? Okay, because the match is typical what we've seen out of this Wednesday side, right? Much better than the midweek at Huddersfield. But this is where I want to link into it. Where the hell is the fight from all of this team, apart from a couple of players? There's no pressure on their backs. The fans aren't in, so they aren't getting that added pressure from the Hillsborough, because you know what it's like when it's not going well. They'd have been booed at the start, for Christ's sake. We've booed players when the name's been read out before.
Yeah. And that passion's got to come within. There's nothing Tony Pulis can put into him to do that. The only way he does it, and it'll go down, and people be like, because I had a couple of people asking what's this whole thing about the wages not being paid and stuff. No one knows what's going on there. They ask questions and no one knows. If they're not getting paid, say they're only getting paid $7,000, it's like, I wish I was getting paid $7,000.
$7,000 a week, yeah, that'd be decent. All right, mate. Yeah,
I wish I was getting paid that.
I mean, I'd take $1,000 a week to do YouTube, lads. Just saying. Do you know what I mean? Like, can we like? Just to detach from the fact that I said earlier in the stream that people keep calling us a sleeping giant and, oh no, club as big as Wednesday can't do this and stuff like that. And I literally said we're a sleeping giant, but you can only be so much of a sleeping giant before you slip into a coma and eventually slip away. And we are at the point where now, like, another relegation to League One without us doing anything substantial.
We're turning into Portsmouth.
That's the worry. You see, I said this, and this is probably a bit controversial, but I think we've been a bigger club than Portsmouth, right? So we would, up there with Sunderland, we'd be one of the biggest clubs for it to happen to, right? But Sunderland looked like they could actually kick back on and get back up here. Do you know what I mean? But we could slip and slip and slip and slip and slip. And it's just, players' passion again. That I can see it from Mick. Like I said, we need balls.
And that's the other thing. We can't keep balls when we got the ball at our feet.
No, exactly. We can't. We just passed it through. Adebayo passed it to their defenders like twice, leaving us vulnerable for a counter-attack today. And I don't usually get on the lads' back. Players walking. Another £2 super chat. Thanks again, Chef Lad. You are helping me claw back that match pass now. Players walking when we are losing. It's disgusting. I agree. There is just no fight there. There is no... I also, actually, do you know what? Let's actually watch a passion match. Let's see if the Manchester derby in a little bit. We'll go and watch that and see if there's a bit more passion in that. Because the football I watched today was awful.
What's annoying me is that we're showing more passion here about what happened than they shown on the pitch.
Yeah.
And we're and that's backwards. That is completely backwards. And the thing that gets me is that, yes, you need to know who your players are. Yes, I understand people saying that it's not good enough, and it's not good enough. I agree. But if you look, this season was, I had a funny feeling that season, this season was going to be terrible. Just because Leeds United and Sheffield United were up, we're going to have that on our hands. And then with everything else that was going on. The problem
I don't care about that so much. I've always focused on Wednesday, but I do understand the banter side of that.
Yeah.
So it's one of those like, I just want to pull something up about what Marty said here just to go off because I keep seeing this. I just didn't want to ignore people. Which players would you like to see come in? I'm doing a whole feature on this, so we will talk about that. I don't know if Punk's going to be involved. Might get him involved, get his thoughts in it, but I am doing a feature in it because after Tuesday, I'm going away for a couple of weeks. I'm not literally going away because Rona, but I'm coming away from streaming for a couple of weeks and giving myself a bit of mental break over Christmas.
He's going in his basement and he's forgetting about what Sheffield Wednesday Football Club is, and he's going to come back and we're going to get out of this, and it can be like a little flower, and then he can start watching it, with and die.
Exactly. No, exactly. So talking about the future, the Fat and Ginger Adventure Show says, I think we should bring more youth players. And the first team need a backbone. Definitely. Youth players have not really worked for us recently, though, so sack them off as well. I just throw it all out. Just start again, lads. Null and void the season. We'll go back in and we'll give it another go. All right? Because that one didn't work out so well so far.
One of the ones in your stream that I kept on talking to, one device or whatever he called, I can't remember, when he was saying, Chancery out all the time. I'm all for people saying like Chancery out. I'm all for people having the views. But if Chancery goes, we're up shit creek. Pardon my French. We are
without
gone.
a paddle. Yeah, no, definitely. I've said this. You and me have agreed on this. This is one thing that we do definitely have an agreement on. I
need to put an apology. Windass does have pace.
Yes, thank you. If you were watching the post show last week, Punk said that
down here.
We had no pace, and Windass just for him wasn't pacey. And I was like, have you actually watched him play? And his pace did get us the goal, even though it didn't really count for much in the end. I do feel for Windass at the minute because he's one of the players that's actually doing his job.
Yep.
You know, he is doing his job. So we've got a striker in there. It's not, we do need more options in striker, in a striker, definitely. You know, so it's one of those where I'm just fed up.
I would love to see what Tony Pulis says on the 31st of January to some of the players that he's saying that are going. I'd love to be a fly on the wall at the moment in our training sessions and after stuff. I had it that I said on Tuesday night at the end of it, I said, we might as well not play, give them a poke card, here's your 3 points, we'll stay at home and we won't do anything. That's what we might as well have done. I said that on Tuesday. And that's how I felt then. And I feel the same way now. I did a video when Monk lost to Rotherham. I literally just put notes up. That was the second half. Didn't do anything else. That was it. And I've got to think, we between us, we put a lot of time and effort into these. People think YouTube is easy. It's really not. We put a lot of time in. But when I'm having to put this time and effort away from my family, it's like, what's the point if I'm not going to see it back?
Yeah, I get that. No, that's the thing. I've been doing this for a little while, you know, with stuff, and it's just today's like today are just typical of it. I knew what we were in for today, though. I called this loss straight away at the start of the stream. We'll come back to that Pat comment. I just want to pull this one up. Clearly, you're disagreeing with me about the sleeping giant thing. For one, that is what we get called all the time. You watch us on Sky, whatever. That is what the one thing there. I don't judge clubs based off success on size. I judge them on terms of support, success, everything pulled in there. You look at us when we go to Wembley, you look at us there. If you look at our fan base, that is where our size comes from, because I agree, it's not on the pitch anymore and it's not in results anymore. But if you look at our fan base and the way we can drag people up, and the people that come out of the woodwork when we are doing well, there is still something to that club. We are nowhere near the levels we were at. But the one thing that still makes me proud to be a Wednesday fan when we kick on is that it all comes back round, you know, and it can go from being very crap to having that you're always hopeful as a Wednesday fan because if something kicks on, you can have a hell of a season.
Yeah.
And you can have a hell of a summer when it comes up to it. You know,
I don't know why.
Few and far between.
Still part of me, and I don't know why. The optimism in me that I think something might happen in January and push on. But the only reason I'm thinking that Tony Pulis doesn't want a relegation on his CV.
No, he could walk though. You know, like that's
walk from many clubs though. He seems to be a man of his word.
No, but let's say this one as well. We talked about passion. We talked about the size of the club. We talked about expectations.
Yeah, great 10 minutes.
What has Izzy Brown got to do to get a game? I don't know. Been saying this all the way through. He offers. He's been pulling the strings for the clubs that he's been on loan at. They can't speak highly enough of him, and he's just
have him back.
You what? Sorry,
Luton has said they'll have him back.
No, exactly. You know, and it's teams that really, really like him. And I really like watching him, and I thought, oh, he's quite exciting. And we've seen nothing. He's not a Pulis player, so that's frustrating in itself. But who is a Pulis player? Are we just going to get a load of 30-somethings come in and play hoofball for the rest of the season? Because that could be where it would be, you know.
Gary, I think the other thing that scared me a little bit is the whole kind of him recruiting coaches and stuff. He's been back down a couple of times now. And one of the ones that I've seen recently, I don't know if you saw the article the Star did with Kevin Pressman, saying if Pulis rang him to take the coaching job, he'd take it in a heartbeat. Someone like that would be really good to have in just to go, right, you bunch of imps. I played here. I know this club. You're not deserving to wear the shirt. And is that coming from the coaching staff? Is that coming from any? And the problem, we've gone from being a club that had a massive load of players kind of sorted, and then we're now back down to like not many. So when we make an injury, it affects us. Like it was great getting seeing Dunkley today. I thought he looked okay. You can tell he's not match fit. But in the same breath, you're like, Iorfa goes off injured, who just come back.
No, that's what got me. I was like, I said, do you want to guess which one of our centre backs is injured? It's not the one you think, you know, and it's Iorfa. He's down and he's just come back. He's decent for us, falls into that. I don't understand the he clearly thought it wasn't working for Iorfa in midfield again and pulled him into the back three and actually made it as more defensive. It's because I don't think we've got the options to pull the strings in the midfield at the minute. Like, it's just not working as a team. I don't think that's true. It better bloody not be. Iorfa out for 6 months. That would not be the ideal situation at the minute for us, you know?
Yeah,
it's not on.
The rest of the season. He's done his Achilles.
Oh, he is out? That is legit?
Pulis had just said he's out for the rest of the season. He's done his Achilles. He's done.
Sorry, Paradox Aspect. Iorfa's out then.
Yay.
Right. Who have we got then? So we've got Dunkley. If Dunkley, who's just had a double leg break and has only just come back, so he's an unknown quantity. Borner.
Yep.
Well, he's fit. Lees.
Shaw, possibly.
And Van Aken.
Oh. Sorry.
Sorry. I'll bleep it in the edit. Oh, God. 20 minutes in. Right, that's easy enough to remember. But what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Right.
Do you want to play centre back in Christmas? There's no
Captain Nats just said Flint. Pulis said before this match he's injured. We don't even know if we're getting him back this season.
He's not coming back. Jack Marriott and Flint are not coming back because their injuries are too big. Oh dear.
I think that's a good point to end on because I've had enough.
Yeah. Can we?
Lads, I'm not going to drag this on for the sake of dragging it on. It's been one of them days today. We've talked about the passion. That's the thing we definitely wanted to talk about. There is none of it at Sheffield Wednesday currently. My last stream before Christmas is going to be on Tuesday night, hopefully. I'll see you on Dexterity Watch on Tuesday. I don't know when me and Punk are doing something again, but it will be at some point. But thank you very much. Go subscribe to Punk. Like, subscribe on this channel if you've not done already. I'm sure there'll be some rant videos coming soon. I can feel it coming. Take care, guys. See you soon.
Bye.